Roger Christofferson here again with another first listener review. This is one that I saw was coming out here a couple weeks ago, and I'm a big Michael Sweet fan. Been listening to Striper since I was like 15 years old. When Michael went solo and he did his first album, I can't even tell you how many times I listened to that thing. Huge Michael Sweet fan. And he's definitely changed a little bit of his style, especially on the solo stuff over the years. And, it's still out there with Striper. He's been doing all kinds of projects with Frontiers, which is kind of how he probably got involved with the other person involved in this one, which is Alessandro Del Vecchio, which actually was part of the reason I was not excited about this. And I'll explain that as if you are familiar with any of the Frontiers releases that Alessandro is involved with, which there's a lot, and I'm not going to name them all, but there's a lot, whether he's in the band, songwriting, or just producing, or, he's the leader of the band, he's involved in a lot. And he writes a lot of the stuff, and he's got a very distinct production style and a very distinct writing style, and for the most part does not break out of that very much. So a lot of these bands end up sounding very similar to one another. You can have the same song. It sounds, I hate to say that, but a lot of the stuff sounds like it's the same band with just other people coming in and singing over the top of it or playing over the top of it. And it's not because it's the same people, it's just because of the production and the songs themselves. And so I was a little bit worried about that. He has done one other band, and I can't think of the name off the top of my head, which was kind of like a heavier band, which broke out of that a little bit, so I was hoping maybe some of that would be in here. And luckily, it was. And also, he plays all the guitar on this, Alessandro does. So from what I understand, he's playing all the instruments and just Michael's singing, and Alessandro wrote most of the stuff, so that's what I'm getting from this anyway. And he writes a lot of lifting, positive stuff, so it's a perfect choice for Michael to come in and sing this type of stuff. Now, it is heavy, and it does have that AOR feel. It's like he's got the golden touch of AOR. Like anything he touches has that AOR thing to it, and I'm talking about Alessandro. So it was interesting having Michael sing over the top of it, and it was actually a really good fit. I had actually heard the song, first one, Rise Again, which I saw the video for it, and it was pretty cool. I actually liked that one, so it kind of opened my hopes up to the rest of this, and it was good. But it was pretty much what I was thinking it was going to be. There's a couple moments of heaviness here. There's one called Eternal Flame, which is a little bit different, and I don't know, probably my favorite one on here is actually towards the end, which is the title song, Return Me to Light. And they get a little bit heavier on those. And Michael's singing on this. I don't know, it's hard to explain. He's singing at the very high end of his register a lot of the stuff, where he's like the inventor of the Jarl, I think, except it was more like a tenor Jarl. He was like up higher. He always sings in the back of his throat, and it's got that I don't know, that tone to it, like he's about ready to break, and it doesn't. And when he goes high, he doesn't really sing a lot in his falsetto. He does a lot of screaming in the falsetto, but I can't really think of much singing he actually does in his falsetto. But there's little screams here and there. But he's singing at the top of his register for the most part of that. So if you're not a fan of when he sings that way, and sometimes it gets a little bit monotonous, quite honestly, when he's singing up at that part of his register. You may get a little bit bored with some of this, but that's probably the biggest negative I would say about his performance on here, is that he doesn't sing. There's not a whole lot of variation in his register. The melodies are cool, but he's all singing it up there right at the top of his head voice. So anyway, quick little take on the thing here. Musically, obviously Alessandro is a great musician and everything's played well. Production, it does sound pretty much exactly like a lot of these other Frontiers production. Yeah, it just does. So yeah, I wish they'd break out of that a little bit, do a little bit more of experimentation with his production style, but it just sounds pretty much like his canned production style on this. And at least the songwriting broke out a little bit, but for the most part it's still in that same vein. But it's worth checking out if you like his stuff. If you like Michael Sweet, it's definitely worth checking out. I'm sure this is one that's going to grow on me a little bit after a few more listens. I've been giving it a few through here, but So that's my initial thoughts on it. Feel free as always. It doesn't matter what I say in these things. If I say it's good, somebody's gonna tell me it's horrible. If I say it's horrible, somebody's gonna tell me it's amazing. So there's always somebody telling me I'm wrong, but like it's just their opinions. So is an opinion ever wrong? I don't think so. But anyway, feel free to share yours down below, like, share, and subscribe, and all that stuff, because this music's cool to keep out there. I like the style of music. So maybe they'll do something else down the line and be a little bit more experimental. So, like this little side note, the stuff that Michael Sweet did with Tracy Guns, I think it was called Sunbomb. That's a cool album. That one's different. That one's got some cool stuff on it. I don't think I did a review on that one, but that one's worth checking out. It's last year, I believe, maybe even longer, but that one's worth checking out. So get that one and this one. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you.